in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When I wake up,
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
You could think you found your dream home online, but here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
The KFH Studios, powered by Devon James Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic.
Traffic volume still pretty light, and the traffic conditions looking good. You have some heavy traffic on West Street right now, especially southbound. Just north of 31st Street South. Traffic update from 98.7 at 1330 KNSS. In the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, I'm Jed Chambers.
Weather.
Mostly sunny skies turn partly cloudy, a gusty south breeze between 10 and 20 miles per hour, and a high of 88. Becoming mostly cloudy, 66 tonight with a light southeast breeze. Mostly cloudy skies on Thursday, high of 82 with a few afternoon showers and storms. Decreasing clouds, and 86 on Friday. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albrock. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next, exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. I'm on record as saying I will never bring back the infamous Jungle Rat family. Google it if you're curious. Admittedly, it was unfortunate. But if the Panthers keep this up, they may leave me no choice. The defending Stanley Cup champs bludgeoned Edmonton last night, 6-1 to take a 2-1 series lead. And so much for Edmonton's newfound composure and maturity. I mean, how can they say the Panthers didn't get in their heads and under their skin when that's exactly what happened? Because that's who the Panthers are and what they do. They get in your head, under your skin, and get you to take the cheese, and then you get your neck snapped in their rat trap. Memo to Edmonton next time, don't take the cheese, or as Nick Saban liked to call it, the rat poison.
Rat poison.
Oh, and make sure Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl show up for Game 4, or this series is already over. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can call me at Jim Rome on the ground.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily with Jacob Albrock and Tommy Kester.
Well, welcome in, everybody. Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday to you here on Sports Daily. Jake Albrock, Tommy Castor, Max providing the tunes for us here on a Wednesday. We're glad to be here with you each and every day, but especially on Hawaiian Shirt Wednesdays. Have you felt inspired, Tommy? The music, the weather?
No, I mean, I know that I feel like the listenership is just tripling or quadrupling because
Yes, it
of
is.
the aloha music. That's a good way to start the day, though. I will tell you that.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. It's beautiful outside. We're celebrating the summer. We're getting ready for it. It's a fantastic time to be a part of Sports Daily. We've got all different kinds of ways for you to get in touch with the program. You can do it on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, via our video streams, of course, and on 12 News Connected. Always appreciate the ability to get there as well as over the air here on KFH, where you can call us at 869-1240. Video comments available on the video streams, or you can leave us voice messages on the Odyssey app anytime you listen to the show, even if you're not listening to us live, because, of course, on the Odyssey app, you can podcast the show, which is great. Happy to be able to tell you what's on tap today with the new partner of the program, Wichita Brewing Company. They're going to bring us what's on tap every day, fitting, because they have a lot of beers on tap there at Wichita Brewing Company and all over stores across Wichita. I was really excited to hear they were coming on board. As a personal aside, it's one of my favorite places in town. It's where we always take out-of-towners. I think their pizza is fantastic. And, of course, their beer's great. So fitting for a What's on Tap. Lots of beers from the Wichita Brewing Company.
By the way, What's on Tap brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company with locations east, west, and historic Delano, featuring a rooftop deck. Wichita Brewing Company, it's pizza and beer made here.
There you go. What is on tap today is Troy Jordan, the executive chairman of the board for the Wichita Open, which begins, in a week and a day. You've got the Pro-Am is this time next week, right? That's Wednesday. That's sort of the first thing. And then the tournament itself starts Thursday, a week from tomorrow, if you can believe it. So we're going to learn about all the new stuff happening out there. Troy Jordan is going to join us later in this hour. Coming up in the second hour, we should be catching up with our KU Insider Shreyas Laddha. I want to get Shreyas's take on all of these changes that are now, we assume, happening and have been being prepared for by schools all over the country with the new NCAA ruling, the House ruling we've been waiting on. So we'll get Shreyas's take on that in general and then how it could affect KU potentially. That's coming up in the next hour. The Royals, boy, they get their butts kicked against the Yankees in the opener. If you're gonna do that, that opener's fine, but now that puts a little pressure on the other games in this series. So we'll get into what happened there last night. We'll get you ready for a Game 3 in the NBA Finals, finally, as well. And I guess we need to get you ready for the U.S. Open. That's coming up. I assume we all just like Scotty Scheffler's the favorite, and then you see what else happens. But we'll let Tommy enlighten us on some of the happenings in golf. But that's what's on tap here for you today.
By the way, have you seen the videos of the rough at Oakmont for the U.S. Open that starts tomorrow? Like, you drop your ball in the rough, it is gone. Yeah, I mean, you're talking like ankle deep grass. That's what the U.S. Open does. And I know we'll get into it a lot more as the week goes on, but man, it is brutal out there, and it usually is.
Yeah, it's you know what? Our friends over at Crestview Country Club, the rough was about like that yesterday because I can't mow it. It's been so wet. I got 9 in yesterday. I hit one probably 3 feet off the fairway, like just right on the edge, and it took me a minute. So they'll get that knocked out. But who knows? Like, maybe that makes the Wichita Open. Where's Fairmont, by the way?
Oakmont. And it's up in Pennsylvania. It's right outside of Pittsburgh. Okay. I think the last time the U.S. Open was there was 2016. Dustin Johnson won it. And there were like 4 total players, I believe 4 or 5, that finished the tournament under par. Everybody else was over par for the entire tournament. That's what the U.S. Open usually does. Like, it is it's a testament to strength and endurance and resiliency, because like it's tough. The U.S. Open is probably the most difficult test in golf.
Mental fortitude. That's how I feel when I'm golfing, except these guys don't get to drink beer to help, soften the blow of that.
You have that mental fortitude? Like, do you feel like you've got that in your game?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't affect me to go double bogey. It's just, we just keep on going.
It's a normal round.
This is a pretty normal round. I did have 2 birdies and 9 holes yesterday. I was pretty proud of myself for that.
Look at
And
that.
then like 5 double bogeys, but that's okay. We're scoring holes. Thanks to, by the way, speaking of Crestview, and the reason we bring up golf is you're going to have a chance to get out there and do it yourself. We did find our winner for the first giveaway. So what we're doing all month long in June is giving away a round of golf for 2 and a golf cart. So congratulations. I believe it was Brandon who won the first round. Great listener. It has been a very, very popular giveaway. And the good news is if you didn't win the first time, you still have chances to win. So what it is you can get your entry in once a day here for the Crestview Country Club. And we will give away a winner every Friday in the month of June. We'll have more details on how you can do that later in the show. But do want to mention that giveaway, and we'll give away some HTO as well on the program today. So that gets us all set up. Look, we're going to talk Royals when we come back. That was a bummer. That was a major, major bummer in the opener. You hate those games where it feels like it's getting away from you before it ever even gets started. And when Aaron Judge hits one to the moon in the first inning, that's kind of the way that game felt, and it never felt any different. The Yankees are really good this year. They're 15 games above 500. They can pitch, they can hit, they can do all those things, and the Royals need to probably take 2 from them here. I mean, that's what we're trying for. So we'll get into what happened yesterday. We'll look ahead to all of it, and we'll celebrate a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday here. Why not, Tommy? I don't understand. I don't understand why you haven't been, inspired to go and add to your collection. I've given you an excuse. You have to do this for work. You're not going to get any resistance from your wife. They'll eventually cave and give up. I'm to the point now where I don't remember what holiday it was. My wife got me a Hawaiian shirt.
This is what I was
just telling you. You got to do it.
This is what I was afraid of. I was really afraid that I would dip my toe in the water and it wouldn't be enough. I would play around a little bit with I've got a little bit of Hawaiian and a couple of shirts, and you give an inch and you're going to take a mile. And that's unfortunate.
One time's not going to be enough.
Twice.
Unless you just want to wear the same shirt every week.
2 weeks in a row. I wore my Hawaiian golf shirt a couple of weeks ago. Then I had one that had a little bit of it was blue and I had a little bit of, but I will tell you, I've got a bunch of golf shirts that are flowery, kind of like Hawaiian shirts.
We'll count it.
The only issue with them is that I've lost a bunch of weight and they don't fit me anymore. And so I don't want to get rid of them. So I'm slowly but surely getting them resized. Once I do that, then I'll break those in here on Wednesdays on the show. They're more colorful than the one you're wearing.
Kids, we'll put a rubber band on the back and just pull it back.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do in my suit jackets on TV when I had to borrow them from my grandpa. I had to get a little clip and pull it back, and we'll do that.
Or you could just get them altered, and that's what I'm planning on doing.
Oh, when I was making $7 an hour, no, I couldn't do that. All right, we'll come back. Sports Daily coming your way. We'll talk Royals next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
They're not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
What is GMFB Overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of fantasy. It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Oh, man, I could use an island beach somewhere. Welcome back into Sports Daily. It's Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday to all those who celebrate. And welcome back in here as we get you going with some Royals talk. Jacob Albrock, Tommy Castor here. That was what you feared kind of in game one. You've got their ace on the mound. You hoped Noah Cameron would be able to match the magic he had been seeing through his first 30 innings or so in the big leagues. That does not happen. And the Yankees overpower him. And then his first bout of relief is also overpowered. And all of a sudden you're down, 10-0, 3 home runs from the Yankees, a big reason for that. But you just got to wash your hands clean of that game. Like there's not much you can do with that. They came in, they kicked your butt. You get back at it and hope you can take the next 2 games against them.
Well, yeah, I think the one thing that we didn't really spend a whole lot of time talking about on the show yesterday with this matchup is the fact that the Yankees have a guy by the name of Aaron Judge. And Aaron Judge came up first, like, in the first inning and blasted a home run off of Noah Cameron. And you're like, okay, well, forgot about that guy that plays for the Yankees. And while Noah Cameron has been phenomenal, that's a pretty tough matchup. And Judge took him yard early on in the game, and then from that point, the Royals were playing from behind. And it's not that Cameron pitched a poor game overall. I mean, it was an average, I would say, game for him until probably the sixth inning or so, and then things kind of fell apart for him. And then in relief, it wasn't good for Taylor Clark in that 1/3 of inning that he pitched in relief of Noah Cameron. But it wasn't a horrible game for Cameron overall, but it was a significant drop off from what we've seen from his stellar start to a big league career so far. And unfortunately, that sort of thing is going to happen when you're taking on one of the best lineups in baseball.
I don't think I remember a ball this year being hit as hard as Aaron Judge hit that ball, but it set a tone right away. That shakes you a little bit. I mean, it shook me listening to it on the radio, where I'm like, oh God, that's right.
It was one of the longest home runs I think ever in Kauffman in the history of the stadium.
It was crazy, and that's what he does, though. Like, I know their lineup's good up and down. He's batting .396. That was his 24th home run this year. Doesn't feel like the Royals as a team have 24 home runs. I just don't pitch to him. Like at this point with him this year, shouldn't he be getting the Barry Bonds treatment? Probably. I mean, Barry Bonds is some of his seasons. I've seen them brought up a lot this year because of what Judge is doing and how many walks. Like, why are we pitching Aaron Judge at this point? Just put him on. Like, doesn't he deserve that treatment by now?
I mean, yeah, I would certainly think so, especially in the first inning when, you're trying, as you mentioned, I don't disagree with you. You said that home run set a tone. If you're the Royals and you're trying to set a tone early on in the game, then yeah, you absolutely, at least if it were me, I wouldn't pitch to him. You've already got a runner on in the first. I would much rather put Aaron Judge on and pitch to Cody Bellinger than Aaron Judge to try to get out of the inning. Unfortunately, that wasn't the strategy, and Judge made the Royals pay for that.
Yeah, and look, their Yankees are good up and down the lineup. They can protect him to some degree. Just don't pitch to him, right? Don't pitch to him. I mean, their 9-hole hitter had a home run and 5 RBI last night. So you're not going to get a lot of relief there, but Judge is on one of those tears right now. Like, you're wasting your time, and you can't, like, the Royals, we've talked about it a million times, and their offense is getting better, but you've got Fried on the mound the other way, and
he was great.
He's been great all year. I mean, yeah. he has. And there was just look, I'm not that worried about yesterday. It got out of hand. It was their best pitcher against the Royals' least experienced pitcher trying to pitch to that lineup. Okay, wash your hands of it and get right back out there today.
And to your point, by the way, I want to mention too, I had this thought when the game was over last night. I would almost rather end an opener like that with a 10-2 deficit and lose the game by that margin in the way that they did, as opposed to Cameron pitches another stellar game and he gets no run support and the Royals end up losing because they can't capitalize. And I know 10-2 getting blown out's not ideal either, but I don't know. Right now, with the way this team is, I would rather that be the end result, 10-2. Than what I just lined out with Cameron pitching another fantastic game and not getting any kind of help.
Yeah, look, I think I totally understand that. The only thing I would say is I don't ever want to see Cameron get shelled because there is still a fear. I mean, he's prior to last night, what was he, 31 innings into his career? I really want him to be the real deal. But when nobody expected it, and like from other levels of his career, I still have a fear in the back of my head that it's going to wear off. And if it does, the Royals have a major issue in their starting rotation. And so I'm with Cole Reagans not being Cole Reagans of a year ago. I'm moderately concerned about that going forward.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that the Royals, I think they had been obviously riding the high of what Noah Cameron has been able to do up to this point. I'm not concerned because of what you mentioned a few minutes ago. The Yankees lineup is stacked from top to bottom. And I don't know about you. I thought that Cameron would have kind of a welcome to the big leagues moment a little bit earlier in his career. The fact that this is stretched on for
sure,
over a month at this point, like eventually it was going to happen. No pitcher can pitch fantastic games every single time out. And this was Cameron's first blemish in his young career. And it was, to Aaron Judge of the Yankees. So I'm not concerned about it. I think if he can bounce back, obviously, the next time through the rotation, then any kind of concern, I think, would be totally brushed away. But at least for me right now, one not stellar start for Cameron. I honestly felt like that was going to happen a lot sooner than it actually did. So I feel fine about it.
Yeah. So Cameron, just like he had a nice 2024 season. He had a 3.08 ERA in 2024. He was off to a pretty good start in AAA this year, 3.31 ERA. Like he's flashed for sure, but like what he's doing at the big league level was probably not sustainable. So for me, it's not so much a fear that like that one thing is, so it's that what is he going to be at the big league level? And like if that's a 3.50 ERA, then that's great. If it's a 4 ERA, honestly, for what the expectation was, that's also great. But I think there is a world where it's not that, and that does concern me a little bit this year, especially because Michael Lorenzen is struggling a little bit, although he looked good in his last outing. Cole Reagans is struggling a lot a bit, and it could get a little dicey here. And can they afford for that to happen? They're going to have the offense pick it up if that's going to happen. Like, and I think it might. I've thought it might all year.
But a
It's what
reminder,
I've been afraid of.
A reminder, they still have Chris Bubich and Seth Lugo in that rotation, right? And so, and Michael Wacha has looked good. He's not been great, but he's looked fine. They've got enough pitchers to, I think, be able to compensate for the fact that Cole Reagans is not pitching the way that he did a year ago. I'm really intrigued to see how Reagans looks in his next start out, because coming back from the IL, he's not looked right. And so I think this next start for him should tell us a lot about what's the true nature of what's going on with him. Is this a health thing, or is this just a performance thing? And I think his next start through the rotation will probably tell us that. And so again, I'm not going to overreact from one not great start from Noah Cameron from last night, because they have enough pitchers in that rotation to be able to pick up the slack, even if Reagans is not pitching the way that he did a year ago.
Well, let's go there. I guess that's what do they have still like a good rotation? Yeah, I think they're still good. Is it good enough though, is my question. Well, it is if the offense can consistently score some runs, right? It is if the bullpen can help them out. But as we've seen the offense for a few months, and I'm hopeful that, yeah, they have figured something out and they will be more productive than they have been. And we hope Jack Caglione will help that and all of these things. But we got to see it, right? And the bullpen, they got some injuries, man. Like these things are unavoidable. So can the starting rotation, I think for me, the question, if the starting rotation isn't like the best in baseball, like it was for a period of time, is it going to be enough? Because there are a lot of reasons why it might not be the best in baseball while still good in this particular playoff race, this particular year. That's where I'm like, okay, how much room do they have to come back down to earth in the rotation before now it can't mask some of the other deficiencies that they've seen? And so, look, again, though, Noah Cameron's start last night wasn't like horrible.
No, it wasn't horrible.
He gave up a couple of home runs.
Yeah, it was.
And so, like, that's okay. Against that team, it wasn't like they just kept shelling him and kept shelling him and kept. No, he gave up 2 home runs, where 5 of those 6 runs, right, came off of 2 home runs. And so that's like, we'll live with that. It's against the Yankees. That's what they do. Fine. Don't care. We'll I'm just going to file it away, though, of what is he like? What is a realistic expectation for him at the big league level? It wasn't to have whatever it was, an 0.71 ERA and only give up 3 hits all year before last night to left-handed batter. Like, that wasn't sustainable. So where does the law of averages balance out for him? I have no idea, because I didn't expect him to be as effective as he's been as a big leaguer. So, I mean, I'm curious to see it. And now, but how much pressure should be on over the next 2 games? Because I think the pressure's on. I hope they appropriately feel the amount of pressure of, like, you got to win. And you got to win at least one of these games. But man, in your head, you ought to be coming back saying, it's fine. We just went up against their ace. They got a couple home runs on us. We're going to go beat them the next 2 times. We feel real good about our pitching matchups in the next 2 games, because their pitching match is absolutely starting pitching matchups in the next 2 are advantage Royals. There's no question about it. And they didn't use any of their big bullpen arms last night anyway.
Right. I think that's why you feel, if you're the Royals, you feel confident to at least be able to get one of the next 2 and not get swept by the Yankees at home. You've got Bubic on the bump tonight. You've got Seth Lugo on the bump tomorrow. Like, both of those guys taking on the pitchers that the Yankees are throwing out there, and Clark Schmidt and Will Warren. You feel good about advantage Royals when it comes to pitching in both of these next 2 games. That being said, though, the Yankees lineup from top to bottom is stellar. And so even though you're not going to be up against their ace again in the next 2 games, you do have to contend with Aaron Judge and Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt and Jazz Chisholm and DJ LeMahieu. And like that lineup is absolutely stacked. Austin Wells, the 9-hitter, had 5 RBIs last night, right? So you've got to deal with that lineup from top to bottom, regardless of the fact that you've already taken on Max Fried and you miss Carlos Rodon in this series. So the offense has to come alive, but you're going to really be leaning on the shoulders of Bubic and Lugo to hold down that outstanding lineup.
And expect to win too. I think they ought to be expecting to win every series at home. So I hope in that locker room it's like, not, oh man, we got to get at least one here. No. The expectation needs to be against that team with that heat and that, like, no. We need to go beat them 2 times in a row. We're down 3 games to 2 in a 7-game series. Like, I want that energy for this particular. Do they need that in every series the rest of the way? No, that's not realistic. But for this one, I think it should be there. Like, this one, they should be fired up about. This one, they should be pissed about last year, what happened in the postseason and all the, the heat and the, you want to fight them and all that stuff. Use that. Like, no, they come in and say, we got pitching. Like, these are our games. We're at home. We'll have the starting pitching advantage in both of these games. Let's go beat the damn Yankees. And we'll see. It's unfortunate that last night that energy got sucked out of the ballpark in the, what was he? What is he batting? 3-hole?
4-hole.
It got sucked out of the ballpark real quick with Aaron Judge. God, like that. I mean, that's insane.
I mean, it was a monster home run. We're talking like, what, almost 500 feet? Like, it was
479, I think.
It was ridiculous.
Listening to Denny Matthews describe it on the call was perfect. Denny Matthews, like remembering a concession stand from the 70s that used to be in that part of the ballpark, and remembering that Johnny Bench, I think, in like a home run derby or something, hit one off of there. And like, that would be the second time I think I would have ever seen one bounce off the top of that concession stand if it was still out there. Like, it was good to go down memory lane with Denny Mac. Because what are you going to say? Like, ooh, that's insane. I wouldn't pitch to him without a lead. I don't know. How many walks does he have this year? Like, why is he getting, let me just look at that real quick if I can pull it up. Why is he getting so many pitches to hit? Honestly, like, why is anybody pitching to him right now? Just watch him. Like, he's had some incredible seasons. I mean, this is as good as he's ever looked, right? Like, I don't remember, like, this is crazy what he's doing this year.
He's the best hitter in baseball. Just what he's been able to do, not just hitting for power, but hitting for average and just all of that. I mean, he is, I'm not sure that there are enough superlatives to describe what he's doing.
I'm looking at his game logs here. He's got 1 walk, Tommy, in his last 4 games. That's insane to me. 1 walk in his last 4 games.
Yeah.
How is that possible? He should only be getting opportunities in like half his at bats right now.
Right. Like, don't even give him a chance to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
No, because there's a pretty good chance he will.
Why is that not the strategy? I don't know.
It was for Bonds forever. And granted, I don't think those lineups had as much protection up and down, but it's probably because we haven't had to think of it that way again since Bonds. But right now, what Judge is doing, it's just like it's ridiculous. I don't know that, and maybe he cools off and you don't have to worry about it as much. But like, let me see if I can real quick project out what his start is, because I'm pretty sure this is an even faster pace than what he had the year he reset the home run deal. All right, give me just a second here. Sorry to do this live over the air, but I have this thing that'll project out what they're doing in a season currently to what that would look like for the rest of the year. And we're stalling because we've got the little spinny wheel here, Tommy. So I'm trying to pull it up on my phone of what Judge projects out to. But that was 24 home runs. I mean, quite simply, 24 home runs, and we're not even halfway through the season. We're not even particularly close to halfway through the season. We got like 20 more games to get to the halfway point. I don't like. Is it? Where do we let me go? Let's go bigger picture with him for a second, because I feel like we don't do this either. The talk is always appropriately, and it should be, on Shohei Ohtani. Why is it not on Aaron Judge as much? Does it feel like to you, because it does to me, that he is somewhat underappreciated for what he's been doing the last few years?
I think that he gets downgraded, or he gets criticized for the playoff failures. Like, that's been the narrative around him for a long time, is that he can't deliver when it's mattered the most for the Yankees. I think he's improved on that reputation. I think over the last couple of postseasons, it hasn't been quite as severe, but that's followed him around for a long time. And a lot of times people forget about what he's done in the regular season, historic and incredible and all of those words, because when it's mattered the most, he's kind of disappeared back into the shadows for the Yankees. And that's been, I think, something that's followed him along for a long time.
But Shohei Ohtani wasn't even playing in the postseason for the most part. I mean, he has been now with the Dodgers.
I just think that's been the narrative. That's been the reputation for a long time.
I'm going to find how that projects out. I'm having a hard time with that. So bear with me here during the break. We'll try and one of us here will get that. We've got Troy Jordan, though, next with the Wichita Open. And Tommy, I don't know if you sent him a message, but I can see him in the waiting room. And
God.
That's what I'm talking about. Here we go. We'll talk a little golf when we return.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
They're not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story, clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
What is GMFB Overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of fantasy. It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH.
And welcome back in.
Digging deeper with the teams you follow. It's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
And it is an insider interview inspired on a Hawaiian shirt Wednesday here. Troy Jordan. Troy, we appreciate so greatly. I say we because we do appreciate. Well, everybody but the fun hater on the program appreciates your festivities today, your participation on a Hawaiian shirt Wednesday. Chairman of the board for the Wichita Open, Troy Jordan, everybody. And if you're watching the video stream, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
We appreciate you being here, Troy.
Yeah, no worries. This is great. I have to admit, I said, I better listen to these guys a little bit in advance. And I said, I've only got one shirt. I don't even know if this applies, but
that's a nice one. I like that one a lot.
Absolutely applies. Yes, it applies. Tommy, take notes here.
I
And
know.
look,
I got to
look
get
at
better
what
at
you're
that, I
missing
guess.
out on. You're going to go back and you're going to watch this, and you're like, man, it looks like those two guys are having so much fun. Looks like they're just loving life. No, not a care in the world.
If he'd get a shirt, we could go play around to golf in these today, and we'd be the highlight of the round at Crestview. I mean,
That's right. Everyone would be talking about us.
Yeah,
I can tell you right now, I wouldn't lose you guys in a crowd. I'd be able to pick you out pretty easily.
Would you lose us in the crowd if we weren't dressed like this?
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
We'd be absurd. All right, Troy. So I think the first thing to let everybody know is the Wichita Open does not start tomorrow. There is a date change this year, which is that I wonder about that for you guys all the time. Like, how much of a challenge has it been to move the date of an established thing that happens every year to a date? Like, the tournament is next week, which I'm excited about. No U.S. Open to go up against, no Father's Day to go up against. I'm excited about it for you guys, but it is something people have had to change their plans to a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. It's really about the people coming to the event. It isn't really affecting preparation or any of that. It actually kind of gives a week breather because, as you guys being fellow Crestview members, we have a member guest that's set every time at the end of May, and it gives another week to work on the golf course. But yeah, it's, as I understand it, and the PGA controls this, it's a one-year deal. Highly likely we'll move back a week starting next year, but that's not set in stone yet either.
What's it been like, Troy, being the new chairman of the board for the Wichita Open? I know you've been associated with the Open for a long time. You've been involved with the tournament for a long time, but now taking over as chairman, what has that transition been like for you?
Well, yeah, you use the words taking over. It really, as you guys know, it's an amazing event. One of the pinnacle events in town every year in South Central Kansas, for that matter. And the tournament's been in great shape and elevating throughout the years. And when the opportunity came about with Jack Pelton deciding to not continue as chair, who did a fantastic job during its really meteoric rise. And he's got a lot of obligations with an event that he runs in Wisconsin that takes a lot of his time. Dusty came to me and said, "Hey, what do you think?" And I said, "Think about what?" And because it just didn't enter my mind. But yeah, I've got an appreciation now and kind of a kinship with this event that, you know, until they kick me out, I'm probably going to want to do something, even if it's volunteer. But I said, all right, if you think. So it's just really trying to not to mess things up is really all it is.
So if you've been out playing golf or whatever you've seen, things do look a little bit different, but you'd have had to get back there. I think 18 looks like 18 has looked, but once you go back towards 17, you see the change. And that is, instead of up, it's out. And the fan zone has moved closer to 17 than it was a year ago, if you remember. I think both of those are really positive changes, but just let it, like, what went into some of that decision making this year, because it will look a little different for people to go out every year.
Yeah, great question. Well, first, we were going to have to make a change because the double deckers were no longer an option relative to providers and strategic partners who provide that. It had used up its life. And in order to do that, you'd have to recreate something from scratch like they do at the Phoenix Open. And it just wasn't going to be possible. And it also aligned with what we needed to rebalance some costs on 17, because the costs of the double deckers are a lot more expensive to be able to stack them than to spread them out. And I don't know that we knew what it was going to look like, but if you have been down there, and we'll get feedback from patrons after the tournament, but I really look, and the spots are a ton better. It's not looking down from that double upper deck. There'll be some kind of unique challenges if you're at the end. May not get a great shot at the video board yet. We're working on that, but I'm really, really excited about it. I think it gives us even more possibilities. Maybe one day we just circle the darn whole third.
I don't think it's going to be as hot, Troy. I think, like, for somebody that honestly enjoys the party as much as the golf, and I'll admit that because I think there's a lot of people that way, I don't think it's going to get as hot without being stacked up on top. We're having kind of that more open air. I think that part by itself will make it quite a bit better out there. Catch the breeze a little bit more.
I didn't even think about that. That would be an awesome benefit, frankly, given when we play this thing.
Troy, I know one of the things with the Wichita Open that has been, such a hallmark or a trademark for the tournament over the years has been the community support, the philanthropy, the way that the tournament gives back every single year. And I know that's a key piece of the pie to what you guys work on, what Dusty works on his entire team there to get the tournament ready to go. What does it look like this year? How does the tournament give back this year?
Yeah, great question. It's really one of the 5 pillars, I think, that what we discovered that this event clearly has to hit the marks for be the event that it is for the next 36 years. And it has done that. Number one, charity has to be at the foundation. And our commitment really through KU Wichita Pediatrics is focusing on kids in Kansas, especially mental health. And we've given over $1 million a year over the last 5 years, and we don't plan on slowing that down. It's got to happen. We think that's foundational. That, along with the $8 million economic annual impact that this tournament has to South Central Kansas, cannot be undersold. It is a quality of life event in Wichita for the third rail, which we all need to have, and the community's voted with their attendance and support and the number of sponsors. And then the other is it's one of those best B2B, business to business throughout the year, especially for the 52 ambassadors. Those ambassadors who didn't do business with each other, didn't know each other, we're all collaborating together with either our clients, doing business with each other. I don't know where you find that. And then finally, oh my gosh, by the way, it's a world-class athletic event by the top talent in the world here in Wichita. I just don't know much that checks all those boxes like that. And we're going to focus on those boxes going forward.
Yeah, look, it's a cultural event here. As an out-of-towner, like I moved here in June 11 or 12 years ago, whenever it was, and like the first thing we did was this tournament, like the very first assignment, basically. And I went out there and I was like, "What is this?" And I remember this was Bruce Hurdle, former co-host here and kind of creator of this show. He would come back. He wasn't even full-time in Wichita, but he would come back to do this event. He has this list of stuff we got to go do. I'm like, "You're crazy. Like, what? Why the hell are we doing all that?" And then I saw it for the first time, and I'm like, "Whoa, okay." When you told me what it was, and I don't remember what the tour was called at that time, but now it's the Corn Ferry Tour. I was like, that doesn't. And then you just kind of walk, and they have the flags of all the champions, and you're like, okay. And then you see 17 and 18, you're like, oh damn, okay, this is this is wild. I love this. And then you talk to the players, and they all tell you like, this is the best thing we have on this tour. Like, we look forward to this so much because it makes it feel like, for us, it feels like a pro event. It feels like one of the big events. I don't know what attendance is at a big pro event, but I mean, what do we? We've got to have 50,000 people a year come out to this thing.
That's exactly
it's wild.
Right. That's exactly right. And really, you really can't compare it to anything else on the Corn Ferry Tour. It's more like a mid to upper level attendance on the Champions Tour. And really, that's a challenge for the PGA to think of it that way because they don't have Corn Ferry events like this. And so it's a little bit of adaptive challenge to them, which they're great partners. But it's really tough for Corn Ferry spots to replicate. It just is. And I think that's a Wichita thing.
I do too.
More people coming together to lift the whole tournament up versus trying to find 3 organizations to carry the ball. So it's really cool. By the way, I remember Hurdle vividly. I mean, I went to the second event. That's how old I am, and got hooked on this thing all the way through Willow Bend and out to Crestview. And Hurdle was all in. And we're really glad to have you guys on the premises for this program. By the way, we really appreciate that, and we hope you guys get something out of it too.
Yeah, we're really excited about it also, and just being able to be a part of the tournament and one of the biggest events in the city every single year. Last year, Troy, there was the added benefit of having Sam Stevens in the field. Just about won the whole thing, which was wild. And watching the gallery follow him as he was playing in the weekend and on Sunday, especially down the stretch, was incredible. Not going to be the same this year without him in the field, but there's still going to be incredible and exciting golf. So for folks that are making plans or, on the fence and like, I don't know if I can make it out with it being a week later or whatever the case might be, give your quick elevator pitch for listeners to come out and enjoy it next week.
Yeah, the cool thing is you really got a couple of really great ways to do it. I mean, it's a $10 ticket to get on the premises. And I think one of the things that I think maybe because of 17, that people kind of get away from. There's still a romance, if you will, to get on the grounds for $10 and follow a player or two. There's sheets on who's playing out there, where they're from, and you can figure out where can I make a connection and go follow a couple of holes. It may be hot, but there's plenty of concessions out there. Then the other would be you can upgrade for $40 from that and end up at the fan zone. The fan zone where you guys are not the fan zone. I'm sorry, the party deck, Wichita party deck.
Yeah.
And you guys are out there doing your stuff in the morning, and you can sit there and drink a beverage and enjoy it. We've moved that down closer to 17 versus 18, so it's a little closer to the buzz. And so it's really going to be a really great experience there. And then the other is the one-day tickets. As you guys mentioned on 17, you've got a chance to do that. Those tend to sell really fast as we get closer to the tournament. There's less than 100 left for Saturday, and that's $150 per ticket. All you can drink. There's a concessions to purchase food. So there's plenty of opportunities to do that. And there are people that will come through that'll either have a background in this part of the country. They all do, that get highlighted at 17 that you can follow. It's not quite like we had last year, but you can find a reason to get engaged with it and just give it a shot, because I think you'll be hooked on it.
Yeah, just go out. You can follow golfers anytime. That's
exactly.
And that gets better on the weekends when you know who the leaders are and all these things. Troy, we appreciate it. We're looking forward to it. We'll try and catch you next week. We'll be out there live with Sports Daily, 4 hours, both Thursday and Friday. So we'll get ready to sweat. We'll get ready to have some fun, and set your calendars to it, everybody. It's going to be another party. You know it is. Weather right now, weather looks great. Weather looks really nice so far.
Yeah. And fantastic, guys. Appreciate it. I think maybe being a 29-year employee of Intrust, I'm probably going to change my shirt before I get to work.
Probably a good idea.
Don't do it.
I would recommend doing that.
Join the revolution. Don't do it. It spreads like wildfire. Just wear it right on. Don't even say a word. Just wear it in and watch the way everybody looks at you. Like, Troy, what? That is nice. All right. All right, Troy, thank you. We'll talk next week. We'll come back with hour number 2 of Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
They're not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
What is GMFB Overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of fantasy. It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily with Jacob Albrock and Tommy Kester.
Welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. It is a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday, and we are glad to be with you here on this Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Jacob Albrock, Tommy Castor alongside you, getting you ready for another hour of Sports Daily. Our thanks to Troy Jordan for stopping by with the Wichita Open. That all begins next week, the festivities. We will be out there Thursday, Friday, all morning long. Tom and I will both continue to be out there in some of the other walks of life that we have. I'll be out there with HTO all 4 days of the tournament. Tommy will be out there with Odyssey, shaking hands, doing things all 4 days as well. So say hello if you're out there with us. Speaking of Crestview Country Club, which is where that tournament will be, we'll have your opportunity to win a round of golf for two in a golf cart. Been one of our more popular giveaways. We appreciate their support of the program. We got our first winner drawn. We will draw another one on this week, every Friday in June. So stay tuned for your opportunity there as well. All right, coming up in this hour, it's What's on Tap, brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company, locations east, west, and historic Delano, featuring a rooftop deck. Wichita Brewing Company, it's pizza and beer made here, and both are very delicious. So here we go. We've got Shreyas Laddha coming up later in the hour. We'll get his take on all of these changes to the NCAA, potentially, with the House ruling. We're still sort of waiting for the dust to settle on that. I do think all these teams, all these schools have been preparing for this, but we'll get his take. What does he think about the notion that this new revenue share could hurt KU basketball because they'll have to use it and focus a little more on football? We'll see what's going on there. We'll see what's going on in the transfer portal, if anything. For KU, that's Shreyas Laddha a little bit later. We'll continue to discuss the Royals' rough opener against the Yankees and what they need to do to get that turned around as well. And then we've got the NBA Finals Game 3 tonight coming up. Tommy, no mention there of Aaron Rodgers as he's getting ready for whatever it is going to be with the Steelers. And, I think it starts with Mike Tomlin. He says, I've been a fan. It was a decision that felt right to his soul, he says.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Maybe
I wonder if it's going to feel right with his soul when they're, 3-7 to start the season or whatever that looks like.
Yeah. No, it's not going to be that bad. They're not going to be 3-7. I haven't looked at their schedule. Without looking at their schedule, I don't think they're going to be 3-7. I do think they're going to be a playoff contender. They were going to be a playoff contender with quarterbacks far inferior to Aaron Rodgers. They've been playoff contenders with quarterbacks probably not as good as Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's, the Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, how much difference is there now? Probably not a ton, but they were a playoff contender with Russell Wilson. I think they'll be a playoff contender with Aaron Rodgers. But it's not going to be a Super Bowl contender. Those are two very different things. And to be fair, there aren't very many Super Bowl contenders when you try to think about it as like you've got to overcome the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Bills, the Ravens, that's an unfair expectation maybe, but that with Aaron Rodgers, that has to be the expectation with what they've dealt with here.
I mean, look, I think that they have the team that they have put together for Aaron Rodgers doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I know that they bring in DK Metcalf, but they don't have George Pickens anymore. And I think that, I have Najee Harris. I think that they've got, obviously in Pat Freiermuth, they've got a pretty reliable target for Aaron Rodgers at tight end, which is good because I think at Rodgers at his age and his point in his career, having a volume type guy in Pat Freiermuth is probably a benefit to him. So I honestly, I think probably the most, I think the happiest person who's going to probably have the most success with Aaron Rodgers will probably be Pat Freiermuth. But I'm not sure that just overall they've put together a team that, yeah, they might be a wild card, but I don't even think that that's guaranteed at this point.
Well, it's more about if TJ Watson happy and something happens there, they're going to be built on defense. And a team built on defense with Rodgers just being sort of a game manager makes sense. I mean, it does. Rodgers doesn't throw interceptions a ton, and they have gotten better on the offensive line. And they've always had a bad offensive line. It feels like a decade now, but I think they're a little bit better there. Anywho, he talked that there wasn't much intent on my part to talk a lot of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Judge, though, we told you we'd find this. So he right now is on a pace for 60 home runs, 145 RBI, 157 runs. Of course, he's flirting with batting 400. But all of those things aside, Tommy, this is what's crazy. He is on, and so I know different places have different WARs. WAR is that number that kind of like all-encompassing baseball number that gets thrown around that just sort of tries to evaluate everything. Right now, in the history of baseball, Babe Ruth has the best 3 WAR seasons ever. So you got to go back to the 20s, right? Rogers Hornsby's in there. Carl Yastrzemski in sort of the modern era in 67. This is according to Baseball Reference. Barry Bonds has 2 seasons in there inside the top 10. Cal Ripken Jr. has one inside the top 10. As far as like real modern players, Barry Bonds, 2001, had a WAR just under 12, 11.9. The all-time WAR record is Babe Ruth in 1923, when he was 28 years old, of 14.1. Right now, it looks like Judge is projecting out to about a 14.5 WAR. So if you want to like talk about like what he's done and how ridiculous it is, it's that he is on pace analytically to essentially have the best season of all time for a hitter, just a hitter. right? Shohei's gets thrown because he also pitches in a lot of seasons, so he gets his even amplified more. That's why people call him, right, maybe the great, because he gets to do both things. But as just hitters go, what we're seeing right now is a pace basically to be the best offensive season we've ever seen. That's what Aaron Judge is doing right now.
Well, and think about too, I mean, he had a really good start to the 2024 season as well. And it's wild to me because it's hard to duplicate that. It's hard to do it in back-to-back seasons. It's hard to do it over a stretch of multiple seasons. And it's even better than it was a year ago. And it was good last year. I mean, through the same, he's played 65 games so far this season. In 2024, through his first 65 games, his OPS was almost 1.1. It was almost an 1,100 OPS through his first 65 games. This year, through the first 65 games, it's 1.267. Like that, those are numbers that are like nobody else is doing anything close to that. And I know a year ago, the conversation was that Aaron Judge was having a fantastic offensive season. And had it not been for him, Bobby Witt Jr. probably would have been the American League MVP. Well, this year, Aaron Judge has got even better, has played even better, and Bobby Witt Jr. has not played quite as well. His OPS is not where it was a year ago. And Bobby Witt Jr. is still playing phenomenal, don't get me wrong. But that margin between the two has widened this year through 65 games. And that's really difficult to do because it's the fact that Aaron Judge is actually having a better start to the year than he did through 65 games in 2024. And it was pretty stellar last year too.
22, which of course is the record year. 24, we're just outside the top 20 for Judge, both in WAR, like 21st best in baseball. And again, like you're talking all time for position players, right? And Babe Ruth takes up a ton of these. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the top 20 seasons ever are Babe Ruth, right? So of the modern times, you basically have what Barry Bonds did, and then a couple other ones mixed in. There was a Cal Ripken Jr. year, and I mean, from the 80s on, that's it, right? It's those 3, I believe. And now you have Aaron Judge. Mookie Betts had a year, his MVP year, I believe it was, where he was kind of up there. It doesn't happen very often. And for whatever reason, I've always thought this, and maybe you're right. Maybe it's because of the lack of success in postseason, but you have this dude doing these things for that team. And I do feel like we don't put him in this. And I think one of the other things that challenged him was he was sort of a late bloomer to all this, right? He didn't come up and start doing this at 21 years old, like a lot of star players we look at. Took him a little longer to get there, but the stretch he's had over the last 4 or 5 years is as good as any we've ever seen before. And I don't think he is revered that way. Even as a Yankee, I don't think he's revered that way. It's a little bit strange. I can't figure it out.
Remember, for the Yankees, probably more so than any other team in Major League Baseball, it's about World Series championships. It's not unlike the Lakers, not unlike LeBron and the Lakers. Like he could win a bunch of games, but it doesn't matter unless he wins championships. That's the way that it is with the Yankees. And it depends on how you perform in the postseason. And for as great as Aaron Judge has been, I mean, we all know about his postseason struggles. He's got a 205 batting average in 58 games in the playoffs over his career. He's hit 16 home runs, which is great, but he's not particularly hitting for average. And the clutch gene hasn't quite been there up to this point in the postseason. And I think he gets knocked for that. He gets dragged for that. And I think that brings down his overall legacy. Is that fair? I don't think so. Yeah, no, but I just think that's the reality for Yankee fans.
We'll continue that. We'll talk about the other 2 games. We'll get you ready for the NBA Finals. That's all coming. Plus Shreyas Laddha. Don't go away. Hour number 2 continues after this.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app. Brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
They're not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
What is GMFB Overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of fantasy. It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday, everybody. Just listen to that music. Just relax. We'll let all the cares of the world go away. If you're a Royals fan, that might be hard this morning because the Yankees did Yankee things, those things that make you hate the Yankees last night. It is fun to hate the Yankees. I'm glad the Yankees are good enough to hate again. They need to be baseball's villain. No offense to the Dodgers. The Dodgers are trying. They're trying to, go buy all the players and do all this stuff, but it's not working. Like they're just not as hateable as the Yankees. I'm glad the Yankees are back in that way.
We've got some drama in this series too, which I love, and there may be some fireworks tonight or tomorrow night. Did you follow the Jazz Chisholm, Michael Garcia
I didn't. I
brewing
was
drama
listening.
between the
We had soccer and t-ball games last night, so I was listening as I was shuttling back and forth from all over town last night.
Yeah, so those two guys are not fans of each other. They weren't in the postseason
Right.
last year. We know Jazz Chisholm had some drama with the Royals during the postseason last year. I guess Chisholm took exception to a tag that Garcia made on him last night, and the cameras, I think, caught him, Chisholm popping up and telling Garcia if he tagged him like that again, he'd smack him. And then they both kind of addressed it after the game. That's the first game in the series, and you've got two more to go. And these two teams already don't like each other. We were talking about that yesterday on the show. There might be some fireworks. It's gotten a little chippy between these two teams.
This is one of those times, and I love chippiness, especially in baseball. It's 162 games. Like you get irritated. I get it. It's probably not the worst thing in the world for the Royals if something like that were to go down, right? If things were to go sideways, though, I think the biggest question is who's gonna handle Judge. Like if you've got the benches clearing, who are you sending up against 6'7", 280 Aaron Judge if you're the Royals? Do you make the rookie do it? Do you say, hey, Cags, that's all you, buddy?
Absolutely not. You're putting bubble wrap around Jack Caglione. I would probably send the smallest guy on the roster. So who would that be? Is that
it would be Michael Garcia, but he's already preoccupied.
No, honestly, like I'd maybe
Kyle
go. No, I mean maybe like Nick Lofton. I think it's somebody like him.
You can't do that.
Or who's really feisty that I would take after Aaron Judge would be Freddie Fermin. I would throw Freddie Fermin at Aaron Judge.
Yep.
Somebody smaller because then they can like go to the back of his legs, like take out his knees underneath him. That's kind of what I would do.
Yeah, he's the only one of those guys that I think you really are like, let's hey buddy, let's cut. No, that what you do is you send your peacemaker after Aaron Judge. Like
Absolutely.
you send Mr. Friendly over there to put an arm around the shoulder and be like, hey man, like what
you send Salvi over there to have a conversation.
How have you been? Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, you send Salvi to just go over there and kind of laugh and be like, let's Salvi's who I would put in bubble wrap at his age. Everyone else, I'd let him get in there and mix it up a little bit. But it might be, all jokes aside, like that kind of stuff can be a lightning rod for a team. If there are frustrations for the Royals this year, and there should be, something like that could be a way for you to kind of get that off your chest a little bit. And if it's Michael Garcia and Jazz Chisholm and they finally just get that taken care of like two grown men, and I don't condone fighting or whatever, but it's baseball and it's fine. Like what wouldn't probably be the worst thing in the world for this team to get a little jolt.
Yeah, I've got no issue with the fact that it's getting chippy between these two teams. I think the only thing that is a little laughable to me is that it's Jazz Chisholm, and he's a talker, and he gets fired up on different things. It's not like he's lighting the world on fire. And
I'm glad he's there because again, baseball is more fun when you can hate the Yankees. It just is. Like they are the Yankees. Their fans are the most braggadocious, and they should be. And everybody else can hate them, and everybody else can envy them, and it makes the game better. I'm glad that they're good again because it does. Like I just want the Royals to beat them so bad. Like as a fan, it's so much more fun to have that. And so I'm kind of glad it's getting chippy that way. I think that it should be. I think the Royals should want revenge from last year in the postseason. And again, it's just kind of unfortunate that Aaron Judge strangled the life out of the series right in the first inning yesterday. But hopefully they can recapture some of that and
Yeah. So if you, I know a bunch of people on social media, they like reading lips. Like I know John Boy Media does that a lot. They read the lips of the players on the field. So after the tag, when Chisholm stole third base, he popped up and he appeared to say, "I'm going to tell you one more time. If he tags me like that one more time, I'm going to smack the F out of him," is what it looked like Chisholm said. And then after the game, Chisholm was quoted as saying, "I just feel like every time we have a problem, it's always been him. That's the only reason I was so frustrated." And then to even see that he didn't even have the ball for the way that he tagged me, it was just, I didn't like it. You know what I mean? So just frustrated, that's it. And so, Chisholm talking about Garcia being the guy that's always the problem when these two teams play each other.
Let's see if he's as tough as Rougned Odor.
We'll see.
Because the appropriate thing for Garcia to do is to tag him hard again, right? Like,
absolutely. You don't back off that if you're Michael Garcia.
In man code, when this is happening and you you have to, like, he's forcing your hand. Now the next time he comes in, you got to tag him hard.
Like, you got to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh, really? You think you're going to? So, I mean, like, again, sometimes we're just like Neanderthals.
You want to take it a step further. Every player in the infield in the next two games that there's an opportunity to tag Jazz Chisholm hard should tag him hard.
I know, right?
Bobby Witt Jr. ought to tag him hard. Jonathan India ought to tag him hard. Michael Massey ought to tag him hard. If he's on first base and he's leading off and there's a pickoff, Vinny Pasquantino better tag him hard. Like that's the way that, like, that's the next way that the infielders for the Royals have the back of Michael Garcia.
Maybe that's who I'd send after Judge, is the Pasquatch. Get in there and try to go pound for pound. But yeah, let's see Vinny put on a hard tag and what Chisholm has to say about that. We'll see if he's as tough. I just keep thinking of Rugi, who's the littlest guy in baseball, taking a swing at one of the biggest guys in baseball, and Jose Bautista, and giving us one of the real iconic moments.
Landed that punch.
And you saw this recently, I just got some art, and I'm not an art guy. And put it in my kind of like basement area where I have like a bar and everything. And so I got, one of the things they did was they made like a painting out of Nolan Ryan with Robin Ventura in the headlock. I'll tell you my other choice for that, and I ended up going with something from the golden era of the Cowboys, was to find Rugi knocking the sunglasses off of Jose Bautista's face. Wasn't on there. And I'm like, that should be as iconic as the Nolan Ryan thing. I know it's Nolan Ryan, but man, Rugi got him so good. That had been building for 2 years almost. Remember, it went back to the postseason and the bat flip and all this stuff.
The Nolan Ryan one, though, is iconic just because of how old Nolan Ryan was and how young Robin Ventura was at that point. And it just like ended perfectly, and Ryan got him in the headlock and just like landed. And I appreciate that art. I mean, some people have Picassos in their house. You've got Nolan Ryan punching the lights out of Robin Ventura, which is amazing.
Because it's one of the great moments of my childhood. Like, I'll never forget. Like, that was it. Just and that's what I mean about, like, have fun with this, right? I don't condone, like, who's a pitcher that came in like spikes high into a like no.
Yeah.
Don't throw at people.
Don't throw at their head. Yeah, like things like that.
Don't throw at them in general. Like, I hate the thought of throwing at somebody is like you hit them in the wrong place in the elbow. Like, I don't want anybody to get injured. Nobody's going to get injured in a fist fight. Like, they're just not. Like, if they just throw down a little bit, like, nobody's going to get hurt.
I know you grew up a Rangers fan. Is that Nolan Ryan, Robin Ventura encounter the most memorable moment for the Rangers in your childhood?
Yes. It's the coolest. I mean, hatred of the Yankees. The Rangers in my childhood, they had a stretch in the mid to late 90s where they were really good, and they reached the postseason, and every year the Yankees would essentially just sweep them. And it's like, ugh. So there wasn't a lot of like on the field success to remember back to. That was as much as any of them. Really, it was all of Nolan. That's why he's such a legend. He hit so many milestones while he was a Ranger. He wasn't even a Ranger until he was like a senior citizen in baseball. Like, he was old by the time he got to Texas.
Where does the Jose Canseco ball off the head rank as far as memorable moments?
Should be higher, but not.
As a Rangers fan, that doesn't rank.
Should be higher, but not. No, because it wasn't like. I mean, it's funny, but no, it doesn't register. But then, Nolan Ryan, Robin Ventura, like, you grew up as a kid, you hated Robin Ventura for that reason. Robin Ventura was fine. Like, he was a pretty good player. Like, he was a good, a good ambassador of the game, all these things. That poor dude will never escape that. And sometimes not pictured as Pudge, like holding him down too, which I always appreciated about Pudge, like holding his arms back. He didn't have a chance.
I mean, he was a kid. He got humbled by the GOAT.
Well, what are you going to do? That's what I mean. Like, sometimes you just got to get it off your chest. And I don't, like, hey, old man, I'm going to come show you. But that's the wrong old man. If you know anything about Nolan Ryan, like,
I mean, how old is Nolan Ryan now? He's got to be 80, close to 80, 70s, whatever. Like, he could probably still hang right now. And
he's got that look
knock
about
us
him,
out.
right? He's 78 years old.
Yeah.
He's basically the age of my dad. But if he looks at you, like, he could talk you down pretty quick. Be like, yeah, you know what? I'll do something.
I'm gonna walk away. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too with that whole encounter was that if you remember, Nolan Ryan didn't move from the mound.
No, he was ready.
He didn't charge Ventura. He didn't back away. He literally just stood there and just waited for him to get there. And if I'm Robin Ventura, and I'm sure he's played this back in his mind thousands of times since that moment, why did he come in the way that he did? Because Ryan caught him perfectly in the headlock, then he couldn't get out of it. Like, do something a little bit different if you're going to charge him. Like, he just set himself up perfectly for that.
It's an iconic moment. So again, full circle with all that, make a memorable moment like that. If you've got Chisholm just chirping and chirping and chirping and chirping and chirping, going back to last year, and he was chirping and chirping and chirping and chirping, and he says he doesn't like the hard tag and he's sick of it,
do it again.
Tag him harder.
100%.
Just, you have to, and be ready and fight a little bit, and let's just get this season re-energized. Let's just put a lightning rod in it. It was going to come yesterday anyway, and Aaron Judge did his thing. So maybe this is another way, but we'll watch that. I don't, if the opportunity arises, I hope that the Royals, just give him exactly what he wants, which is an opportunity, and see how he handles it.
We did see also over the weekend in the White Sox series, Matt Quatrero, he didn't get tossed, but he was pretty heated a couple of different times in that series, and went out and argued about, there was a situation with the White Sox, and the trainers were checking on the pitcher, and he wanted it counted as a mound visit officially, and the umpires weren't doing that. So like, they were going back and forth, and he was probably the most heated I've seen him so far this season. So things are starting to boil over. I don't think it's like a, get tossed for the sake of getting tossed type situation for Matt Quatrero, but you need a spark, and you need to, figure out what that looks like. And so I think that collectively, especially after you were kind of humbled by the Yankees last night, it wouldn't shock me to see tonight or tomorrow night there be some fireworks one way or the other.
Festering a little bit, if you will. Yeah, I think, look, it makes sense. Just get it done. Go get after it. Like, let's see if the Royals can take advantage of a situation where there's an opportunity for some energy and some emotion, and go for it. That game will be tonight. We'll tell you how you can listen to it in just a little bit. Tommy, before we get Shreyas in the next segment, let's look ahead to game 3 of the NBA Finals. Man, the NBA does everything it can to just smother the momentum or excitement or energy of a series. But we finally get game 3 here now. It becomes, basically a best of 5 from this point. Each team has a game. I think it's pretty obvious. The pressure all sits with Indiana. I think they're equipped to handle that pressure, both in the kind of the personality of their players, certainly in the personality of their coach, right? Like, this is what they're supposed to be good at. And we'll see if they can hang with a more talented team. I hope so. I really want to see this series get long. But to your point, yesterday or Monday, whenever it was, like, God, it's hard to stay locked in when you got this much time between games.
And I've had people that have, because I've complained about this on social media, people have been like, it's always been the schedule this way. Okay, that's great, but change it. Like, I'm complaining about it now. I've complained about it every single year. It's a big reason why I can't get locked in to the NBA, even the finals. Like, I'll watch it, but like the other night, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that Game 2 is even happening because it had been so long since Game 1. The NBA's got to look at that. But as far as the game itself is concerned, all the pressure is back on the shoulders of the Pacers with the way that the Thunder responded in Game 2. I really felt like Oklahoma City in Game 2. If they didn't respond in the way that they did, it was going to be the Pacers series. With the way that the Pacers won Game 1, if the Thunder wasn't able to respond, it would have been really difficult for them. But I thought Oklahoma City bounced back in a great way. And now they've got that momentum going into game number 3. The pressure's back on the shoulders of the Pacers. But we know that all Indiana has to do is hang around. If they can hang around in a game, then all bets are off at that point. So that's going to be, I think that's going to be the priority for them in Game 3 is just hang around, keep it within an arm's length, and then let them go to work down the stretch.
I think for me too, like, even if Indiana wins this game, I still don't think it's going to be a tremendous like pressure spot for Oklahoma City.
No, I don't think so either.
Now, if they, but which is hard to say because if they all of a sudden they go down 3-1, but it just doesn't feel. And this is a part of why I think Oklahoma City is really good, is because you never feel like they're pressing that way. Like at least it doesn't look like it in the postseason. I didn't pay close enough attention to them on a game-to-game basis in the regular season. But they've faced some adversity in these series on the way here, and it just hasn't seemed to rattle them at all. That's where I think like that pressure goes to Indy, because if they don't win this game, the thought of them then going and winning 3 more when Oklahoma City only needs to, like, that feels overwhelming. And it's really not that unusual for a series to go 1-1, but it does feel. And I think I think Oklahoma City is the reason it feels that way. They feel like a sleeping juggernaut a little bit. Even as good as they've been in the last 2 regular seasons, and they've been fantastic, it still feels like we're just scratching the surface with how good this thing could get for them.
I'll tell you right now, the Thunder are 5.5-point favorites tonight on the road. I'm going to lay those points.
Oh yeah, me too.
I think the Thunder win by double digits in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, whether it's double, I'm not sure, but it feels like the spot for them to have another big win and sort of establish themselves. I hope it's a good game. I say it all the time. I hope they're all good games. I want this series to go. We've already started to see it. The ratings for first 2 games are lower than any season since the COVID. Of course they are, right? Like,
who cares?
They are. Their home markets are small markets. Of course they're going to be lower. Who cares? Like, it doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's just where the 2 teams are playing. You don't have you don't have the baked in. It's such a tired thing to, and I get it. I don't mind like just sort of paying attention to it, but it has nothing to do with the players on the court. It has everything to do with where the TV markets are located. Outside of LeBron James, it wouldn't matter who was on the rosters. You've got small home markets. It's irrelevant to how good or bad a series is. It doesn't matter. It's not like the sponsors that were lined up, Tommy, are banging on the NBA's door asking for a refund. It doesn't work that way. Who cares? We'll come back. More Sports Daily. Shreyas Laddha should be with us next. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
They're not just the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
What is GMFB overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of fantasy. It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back into Sports Daily, everybody. It's Jacob Albrecht here. Shreyas Laddha, our KU Insider, joining us. Quick shout-out to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up each and every morning here on KFH and all across the Odyssey family of networks, as we appreciate their support of the program. Shreyas, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Look, it's a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. I see you forgot. No big deal. No problem. We're, it's summertime. We're just setting a tone here. Max he's been playing Hawaiian, ukulele music on the way in. I think we had a little technical glitch on the way in on that last one, but it's okay. There's always next week. No big deal. No big deal. Shreyas, what is like? So I want to pick your brain on this a little bit because we get the big news dump Friday of the House ruling, and we've been waiting on the House ruling. And I do think schools have been preparing for this to some degree. But how quickly are you getting a sense that things are changing or there is any scrambling whatsoever to now adjust to what has been ruled on here?
I mean, with Kansas, I think they've done a good job of preparing. It seems like Goff has been on top of it, as I can see from Twitter. I'm hoping to sit down with him this week, actually, to do a story or two. Basically off rev share is what he was, and it seems like that sit down will probably happen later this week, fingers crossed. But I think it's something that they'd been anticipating for a while now, and I think behind the scenes, a lot of things were happening. I asked in April to talk to Travis kind of where they're at with rev share things. And they were like, we haven't quite finalized it yet. But once things are kind of final, let's talk then is what I was told. So, I think they've been preparing for a while. And you've seen Travis's comments a few times on Twitter of him talking about the anonymous sources blasting the new rev share and this and that. I think he's been, at least from what I've seen on Twitter, as pro rev share as I've seen from any athletic director in the country right now. And I'm very curious how this kind of plays out, especially with a basketball school like Kansas. Like everyone knows football is going to be, have to take more money just because of scholarships and all that. And it's technically supposed to make you more money. But the bread and butter of Kansas University of Kansas is 100% basketball. Everyone knows that. So they might have to spend a little more on the roster than, say, like Oklahoma or, Arizona or any of these schools, that are more football centric, I think. Arizona is not a good example there, but Oklahoma is the one.
Well, it brings up the next question I was going to ask. So, and I like I think other people have been mentioning it. It has come to my mind. The blue bloods here in this model seem like, at least the blue bloods with football schools are going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage over the blue bloods of non-football schools. Like to me, when we're talking UConn, maybe more UConn than Gonzaga, but UConn's an easy example versus Kansas, for example. I don't know exactly what the dollar splits are going to be on this, but Kansas has to stay devoted to football. They're building a new football stadium. So if the resources are in, and I think administrators like it because there is now a set amount of money. I don't think it's going to hold up in court that there can't be a whole lot more money coming in from other places. We'll see. But if it is a set amount of money, I mean, Kansas can't afford to not devote a lot of that money to football. UConn doesn't have football. So even if it's a smaller total pool.
Well, UConn has football. UConn has football. They're just not good.
Are they? But they're not affiliated with a conference, right?
No, they're not. But they made a bowl game. They made a bowl game like 2 years ago. So
yeah, they don't have a TV deal to split the revenue with.
Yeah,
they're going to have more resources for basketball than North Carolina or Kansas.
No, absolutely. But that Big East has a complete advantage right now. Like the Big East Conference for basketball inherently has an advantage that the Big 12 won't have. And it's something I was talking about on our podcast we recorded for work yesterday or whatever. As somebody who covered UConn and has now covered Kansas for 3 seasons, inherently we know both these schools are basketball-centric schools. But UConn doesn't have to pretend to put that much money in the football program. Even if they spend a couple million, that'll be more than a lot of their Big 12 or Big East counterparts. But Kansas is going to spend the majority just because scholarships and stuff like that, investment in the stadium, investment into everything going there. So I ask myself this is Kansas, Duke, UNC at an inherent disadvantage? I think a little bit compared to some of the other schools that are not as football centric or have football programs. But I do think the market will adjust itself. Like we saw Darren Williams go for reportedly $4 million. I don't think he's going for $4 million after this rev share thing. I think he's going to be cut in half, maybe cut into 3/4 of that.
And see, I see that too. Like they're going to have this clearinghouse. How on earth, if there is a company that says, I want to pay you $4 million to come be in our car commercial, he's worth what somebody is willing to pay him. So that is, to me, and I keep seeing that based on everything we've seen like the last 5 years, I don't like that will never hold up in court. If any player had an offer on the table from a company to do something for X amount of money, and then a non-affiliated group, whatever this clearinghouse is, comes in and says, nope, you can't make that much. And that said player is not under contract in any form, that will never hold up.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment. And I think what's going to happening is, whoever can still clear up the most NIL money to put alongside this rev share thing is going to be an inherent advantage. So the schools like in the SEC that have deep pockets like Georgia, my alma mater, Alabama, etc., they're going to just end up circumnavigating it, I bet you, in a sense that NIL money is going to be the determining factor. Maybe they can only give them X amount of money because of rev share, and maybe that's what brings in the guys who are on the roster, just barely on the roster or whatever, or the 3-star guys or whatever. But the NIL money is the thing that's probably going to keep them at these schools. And you're telling me that, whatever car dealership, associated with Athens, Georgia, he's not going to buddy up with the football program and want to be the car dealership of the Georgia Bulldogs and be like, oh yeah, we'll pay this guy $2 million. Okay, just give me seats to every Georgia game until the rest of my life, my eternity, whatever. We'll do what we need to do. It's going to become, how good are you at getting guys paid in other ways outside of rev share? And that's going to be huge for every NIL program. And look, the answer is put them under contract, and you can tell them what they can and can't do. We use the example here, like we have work contracts, and I don't know if you do, Shreyas, you might, but in my entire career, I've had, as a full-time employee, I've had work contracts that very explicitly say what I can and cannot do as far as this stuff goes. Like for a TV contract, I can't, go be in a commercial for a car dealer that says, buy these cars. It's a little different for radio in this particular format, but it's very clearly written out, and you can or can't do it until we get players under contract, which is, I think, where this is all eventually headed, or they're just going to keep facing legal challenges, or until they can collectively bargain what's allowed and not allowed. I think this will help, but I don't think it's going to be the end game, because I think they can still circumvent it when you're telling, like, the open market's the open market. Like, it is what it is. No, I think you're 100% correct. And I think, we need to get a contracts. We need to get unions. We need to just get that all out of the way, because I'm kind of tired of this whole situation of never ending knowing what's going on with college athletics, because there's this lawsuit or that lawsuit or this and that, ongoing. And, let's call it what it is. This was something that I think if we had seen it happen before the creation of NIL, I think people would be a lot more excited about it. But right now, we've been in the NIL era for a couple of years now. This just feels like a stopgap for the next inevitable lawsuit that's going to be coming across our way that changes the landscape of college athletics. And I give it less than 2 years before something changes again.
2? Yeah.
Probably less, honestly.
I do too. Well, I think the first time there's a high-profile deal in a clearinghouse says you can't earn that much. I mean, if I'm an attorney, I'm like, yes, you can. Let's take that to court.
100%.
Why can they tell you what you can and can't earn on the open market? You don't have anything written down that you've signed that says you can't do that. We'll see. All right. In other news, Shreyas Laddha, our KU Insider, joining us, KC Star beat reporter for football and basketball. Any news? Do you even expect anything at this point for additions to the basketball roster?
I know they're looking. The question is, I know with Bryce Escher, there's been a lot of reportedly visa issues, so I don't know if that's going to be fixed or solved. I don't know. That just seems like a whole nother, how do I say this? In this state, day and age of America, visa issues seems to be a little bit more important than it used to even 10 years ago right now. So I think they're trying to fix all that stuff. And I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but they were saying that international guys are not getting rev share, apparently.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so they might have to take them to court. So it's
well, do you mean the retroactive part or moving forward?
I think moving forward, I think I read somewhere they're not getting rev share because otherwise they could revoke their visa or something like that.
That was the issue. That was the issue. Remember with Johnny Furphy that we had seen as far as
Kansas circumnavigated it by dropping and taking somebody to Australia and giving them money there. Like every other school did the same thing. That's the way you get through it. But I think with Kansas, they clearly have two needs. I think they need another wing, and I think they need a backup big. I think they'll end up getting a backup big somewhere. I don't know if they'll add anybody after that. Bill said he wanted another guard, which I don't really understand unless he wants a combo.
That's
guard.
what you'd need
they have so many guards. They don't really have a real wing on the roster. I guess the closest you have is Trey White, but he's going to play the 4, I presume, for Kansas this year.
How big are El Marco and Jamari? Can either of those guys you think
get
out there
is
to
what,
3?
6'5", I think, and then Jamar is like 6'3", 6'4". So I mean, what I think will probably end up happening is like Darren Peterson plays point. He's pretty tall. Then you have Melvin Council at the 2. Okay. Then you have at the 3 Jaden Dawson. These are all kind of taller guys. Then Trey White at the 4, and then Flory at the 5. Right now, that's where my projection are for where the lineup is. I presume El Marco will battle for a position with Melvin or Jaden, and I would be surprised if he beats out either one of those guys just because they're older, seasoned guys who've been playing for years. And both of them, Jaden and Melvin, have NBA aspirations. I don't think El Marco's quite there yet, unless he's improved a lot in the year plus since not playing basketball.
They better hope those two have, because I think there's a lot with them. Are we calling them misses on the recruiting trail? Maybe with Darren Williams anyway.
I absolutely think they are misses. I mean, let's call it what it is. They're misses. I mean, I think the biggest addition this offseason has been getting Flory back.
Sure, it was. And honestly, we don't give that enough credit because that was a win. Mm-hmm. And it was probably the most impactful for what he showed us in his freshman year. I think we're caught up in it's, we're now all trained our brains to this NIL thing and transfer portal. I mean, but Darren Peterson and Flory Badunga being back are at two biggest. I mean, there's two big additions as there are in the country. So it's not like they didn't get anybody. They got those two essentially back. So it'll be wild. Shreyas, we appreciate it. Hopefully we'll get one more addition to the roster we can talk about. But honestly, I think our conversations for the next few weeks are going to be about what's happening now with these changes.
No, I completely agree. And I mean, with the Flory thing, as somebody who was right there in the thick of things, reporting all that stuff, I never really thought he was going to leave. I always felt like it was a leverage play, and they played it perfectly. He got a nice pay bump. But I'm curious to see what happens with the roster. In my mind, they clearly need somebody who can shoot the ball, and a wing would be really nice. Just because I don't think they have a lot of wings in the roster. But hopefully Kansas can add someone for their sake. Otherwise, I think they're maybe a top 15, top 20 team instead of a top 5, top 10 team.
And that's not the worst thing in the world either. Just kind of chill a minute from these last couple of seasons as the preseason number 1. Shreyas, we'll find your work at the KC Star. Follow him on X at SHRE98. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
There goes Shreyas Laddha, our KU Insider. We still have more Sports Daily coming your way, so stick around. We're coming right back. It is a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday to all those who celebrate. We'll be back. Don't go away. More Sports Daily right after this.